Hello. This is our last lesson on Psalm 23, and by way of review, let me just say that David in Psalm 23 is now a seasoned man, an older man, a wiser man, and he's learned a lot about God. And we find that what he learned about God in Psalm 23 ties into the names of God given to God elsewhere in Scripture. He found that Jehovah Rohi, his personal shepherd, my shepherd, he knows my name. He also found about Jehovah Jireh, God who provides, and because He provides, I shall not want. He found about Jehovah Shalom, God gives peace in times of trouble. He found about Jehovah Tsidkenu, God, His righteousness. He leads us back to the right path when we go astray. And he found about Jehovah Shammah, the Lord is there. He will never leave us nor forsake us. As we continue in Psalm 23, verse 5 says, Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. David learned that there was no need to fear the enemies because God is God, Jehovah Nissi. The Lord is our banner. The battles here on earth are not ours as long as we are fighting under the banner of God. What does a banner signify? It's like soldiers from America go fight a war. They carry the flag, the patch on their shoulder. They're fighting under the banner of this country. Well, as Christians, we fight under the banner of God. And God is saying that there's no need to fear the enemy as long as we're fighting because the battle is the Lord's. When Moses and the Israelites were fighting the Amalekites in Exodus 17, Moses held up the rod that was in his hand, representing the power of God. And as long as the rod was raised up, they were winning. Of course, they won that battle. And after the victory, Moses built an altar. And this is what is said about the altar. And Moses built an altar and called the name of it Jehovah Nissi. Psalm 23, verse 5. Again, the last part of that, Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Again, we see Jehovah Jireh, God provides. Verse 6 of Psalm 23. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. Again, we see God provides, Jehovah Jireh. And the last part of verse 6, I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. That is Jehovah Shammah. The Lord is there. And David in that verse was looking forward to the day when he will be with God forever in His presence. And by the way, as Christians, we too are looking for that day when we will be in God's presence for all eternity. Revelation chapter 21, verse 1, And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and He will dwell with them, and they shall be His people, and God Himself shall be with them and be their God. Jehovah Shammah. God is there. What have you learned, David, now that you're older and seasoned and wiser? Well, I learned about God, Jehovah Rohi. He's my personal shepherd. He knows my name. I learned about Jehovah Jireh, the God who provides. Because He provides, I will lack nothing. I learned about Jehovah Shalom, God who gives peace in the times that I was in trouble and life was at a storm. I found about Jehovah Tsidkenu, God is my righteousness. He leads me back to the right paths when I went astray. I found out about Jehovah Shammah. The Lord is there. He will never leave me nor forsake me. I found about Jehovah Nissi. The battle is the Lord's. I can be confident of victory if I'm fighting the battles of God, because the battle is the Lord. To sum it up, I guess David found out who the I Am was. The I Am that Moses was talking about earlier in the Bible. You see, I am that I am. Whatever we need, God is. In Psalm 23, David's wiser and older now. He says, what are you telling us in Psalm 23? I'm telling you about the God who is the I am. He is whatever I need Him to be. And He is whatever you need Him to be.